Psalm 7. Prayer and praise for deliverance from enemies. Wow. O Lord my God, in you I put my trust. Save me from all those who persecute me and deliver me, lest they tear me like a lion. I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of the Lord Most High. Amen. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Kind of. Yeah. Say hi. Are you ready? Okay. Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Day in the Life. We have a lot to update you on in this video. We've moved house, if you couldn't tell. And obviously Evie is... We need to recalibrate. Recalibrate. So we have a lot to update you on in this video. House move, crypto portfolio, loads of stuff. But first things first, while Neve's sorting breakfast, we're gonna jump through and basically get set up for the day. Update the members on what's been going on in the markets over the weekend and all that good stuff. So let's go and do that now. Let's do it.
Recording in progress.
Where's my pen? Okay, good morning guys. So today is Monday the 16th of December. I wanted to jump on and just give a little bit of a round off, a little bit of an update as to some of the things we're looking at. Obviously, we are currently holding a position in Aussie yen. We are still looking at this hammer that we traded in Aussie yen. Moving on to Aussie dollar, for me is still looking okay for a breakdown. I would still be happy to trade a break and retest of some of these structure lows in here. Last little thing, obviously little update on SUI, that we acquired some SUI last week. From there, we're currently up around about 30%. Now, something that I just want to do, you will have seen in the crypto channel, I posted this, the SUI versus Sol. We've ultimately not abandoned, but we've given up on half of our portfolio in Sol to allocate to SUI. We need to see the relative strength of SUI against Sol just continually increasing. That's pretty much all I've got to update you on this morning. Obviously, we'll keep tabs throughout the week in the Discord group. If anyone has questions or anything like that, whack them in the Q&A channel and we'll try and get back to those as soon as possible. Check-in with the members done. Just wanted to update them on effectively a position that we've been running over the weekend. Hello? Honestly, she does this multiple times a day. She leaves her mum and just crawls through. I just see the door opening. We were running an Aussie yen position over the weekend. Running positions over the weekend isn't something I typically like to do, just because there's a lot of event risk there. If it was something like euro dollar and the trade's in profit, I'm not really concerned about that. Euro dollar's very stable. Even when we see gaps over the weekend in the euro, it's like 20-30 pips, which to me, for the kind of trade duration I'm in, 20-30 pips isn't really anything significant. I am gonna update some crypto stuff throughout the video. We made quite a drastic change to our portfolio right in the middle of the bull run, where we sold off quite a significant position to reinvest it into a smaller cap altcoin. Aside from all that, we're gonna go out and grab some coffee, but first I'm gonna get ready and give you guys a much needed house tour. So you guys have been on the journey from office moves, all the rest of it, having the baby, holidays, so it's only right that we give you a little bit of a house tour. Now, Neve and I had a really nice house, and then the baby comes along, and all of a sudden we need more space. So we searched for ages, and then we found this place. So we've moved to, we're still in Glasgow, but we've moved to a totally different part of the city, which is like, it's closer to our church and stuff like that, which is nice. But this is the kitchen. Pretty standard, nice kitchen. Neve would really like the pulley for hanging clothes on. Old-fashioned thing, I guess. I'm not really that fussed. This is our bedroom. Pretty standard, nice bedroom. Hello. Hi. Hi, Evie. Evie's eating some of Neve's makeup. Most important room in the house, the bathroom. Then my office is in the kind of back of the house. If you remember, we had this on the wall of the trading floor. So this is the Financial Times from the exact day I was born. It's not a reproduction, it's an original. One of my previous business partners got me this as a gift. And then on this wall, we have a stock certificate from Goldman Sachs from the year I was born, not from the day I was born, but from the year I was born. So that's up there as well. And then one of my favorite quotes from scripture is there as well. And here, very spacious living room. Lots of room for Evangeline to play, which is, again, exactly what we wanted. And then we have a really nice bookcase here as well. Most of my books are theology books from Scottish, English, American, Puritans, Reformers, all the rest of it. So I don't read a lot of physical books other than the Bible. Like most of the time, if I want to read a book, I'll just listen to it because I can do it while I'm driving. And then the reason for the move, this is arguably the most important room in the house. My goodness. So this enormous room belongs to this tiny little human being here. As you can see, there's a lot of space, which we have yet to do anything with. And obviously the ceiling kind of thing leads down, but that's fine because she's like 1.5 feet tall. But we are gonna obviously fill this with furniture and things for Evie to play. She also has, which is probably the strangest flex out of a 10-month-old. She has a full ensuite bathroom. Now, the ironic and funny thing is, in our last house, me and Neve had an ensuite bathroom. We had a bath to use and all the rest of it. And now they've moved here. Evie gets the ensuite, she gets the huge room. But ultimately, when you have a baby, you need space. She has just a corner filled with all her toys, all the rest of it. But anyway, we're gonna go and get coffee, breakfast, and then we have a team meeting with some of the KB staff and all the rest of it. So let's go and do that.
Coffee.
Coffee, yeah, I'm going. Right, let's go. That's oat milk, yeah? Yep. Perfect. Cheers. Nearly just got run over. We're gonna be late for the team meeting. We have like 10 minutes.
We're running kind of.
We are. Looks like we don't really have any calls today after the meeting either. Maybe 4 p.m. 4 p.m. call. People who've applied for our mentorship. We don't open our mentorship just to the general public. They need to submit an application, attend an interview and all that type of stuff. And then we evaluate them based on that and decide if there's somebody we want to work with. We get about 100 applications every month, which sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not. We probably only accept 3 to 5 people each month because we really are looking for people who we're confident we can get good results out of, basically. Monday mornings, around about 10 a.m, we check in with all of the KB team. You don't really see much behind the scenes what goes on at KB, but we have video editor / videographer who is behind the camera. We have a web guy who does all of our web stuff. We have guys who do loads of different stuff at KB, setting appointments and all the rest of it. So we'll jump on with this probably for about half an hour. And then we're going to go and do something a little bit more active.
Hello.
Hello. How we doing?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Lewis, with regards to calls today, am I right in saying we have one absolutely for certain?
One email, or is there like a, is there a campaign that we run over a few days?
It's coming through. I've got an idea. Where did you find this number? So complicated. I'm tired now. Okay, fantastic. Right.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good week, guys. God bless. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care. So meeting is now done. We're about to head out climbing. But first of all, I just wanted to run you through basically some of the stuff I look at. This year, my focus has primarily been on crypto. My attention tends to shift towards where the money's coming from. When I say I'm like a currency trader, I trade FX, I trade commodities, whatever. Ultimately, I'm just a trader full stop. And my attention goes wherever the money is flowing. Middle of 2024 to middle of 2025, I believe that 12-month period is where the most opportunity is going to be in crypto of this cycle effectively. So I'll be honest, that's where my attention shifts. Now, that Aussie yen trade that I mentioned we were in, we are now out of that trade. So closed out of Aussie yen this morning. Now to get on to some of the crypto stuff. This is one of the tools that we use to track our overall crypto portfolio. This is just a spaghetti graph. So effectively what we have here is all of the major crypto positions that we have, all in line charts, all together on one screen. So you can see this month, in our portfolio, XRP, Pepe are doing really the best. In our Discord server, we call any of my crypto positions that I'm taking. We called Pepe back in around about August 2023. All the way down here, you can see we've had about a 2,000% move there. Solana is another one we called around about summer 2023. You can see to the highs, we've been up around about 1,000%. Again, this is just relative strength. How are the positions that we're in performing against one another? What's making the most money? What's moving the quickest? One of the things that I'm looking at in terms of tracking this bull run, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, just for relative strength of altcoins. Bitcoin dominant, very, very similar picture. This, which I don't see a lot of people speaking about, is Bitcoin versus the Magnificent Seven, top 7 US stocks, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, and Tesla. How is Bitcoin performing relative to the US stock market, the top performing US tech stocks? Look, if you're tracking crypto, you're trying to gauge this bull run, tracking in US dollars, just looking at US dollar charts is only going to provide you so much, especially when we start to breach all-time highs, we start going into price discovery. You really need to be looking at relative strength against other asset classes to understand how much steam a bull run has left. We're going to head out now, so catch you guys on the way to climbing. Need to get my supplements sorted. Creatine, clear protein, omega-3 for brain health, zinc and magnesium for fatigue, and then vitamin B1 because I use nicotine pouches for my focus and stuff. It depletes your natural thiamine, which can cause fatigue, so I take that as well. I also take vitamin D3, which I've run out of. I actually had blood tests done maybe like 2 months ago. All of my vitamin levels, all of my nutrient levels are exactly where they need to be, which is really strong. Just a healthy guy all around. So if you're wondering if taking supplements actually works, yeah, go for a blood test, it works. Bye, love you, God bless. It's really good to get away from the charts, in all honesty, especially if you've lost money. There was a morning, maybe a month ago, where I came in the morning, had some trades fill overnight. I was down 13 grand by midday. In the grand scheme of things, when you're trading the kind of size we trade, that's not terrible, but it's still £13,000, it's £13,000 or dollars. And the beauty about it is, when you're on the wall, you can't think about anything else. You need to think about where your feet are going, where your hands are going, the next move. It's all consuming for your mind. So it's a really, really good release to just get away from anything. Something that not a lot of people know is I'm extremely afraid of heights. Had this fear since I was a child, pretty much. I'm the type of person who I don't like to be afraid of things. I wanted to conquer the fear of heights. So started bouldering, started doing high wall, and now it doesn't go away, but you just get used to it, if you know what I mean. So I think climbing is really, really good for that. Challenging yourself, overcoming fears, being comfortable with risk, you name it, like the list of benefits is endless. To the boulder. Climbing is a very humbling sport. You look at a route and you think, I can do that easily. And then you get like 2 holds in and you're like, I cannot do this easily. Flashed it. Like my forearms are just like so pumped. You see, you can either be absolutely insane at a couple of things, or you can be well above average in a lot of things. My kind of philosophy is, I'm not gonna be absolutely insane top 1% climber. I'm not gonna be absolutely insane top 1% physique. I'm not gonna be absolutely insane top 1% trader. But if I'm in the top 5% in all of those fields, I would much rather that than be top 1% in, physique and, top 10% in the rest. I'd rather be like top 5% in everything I put my hand to. Whenever I'm going to do something, I research it, I study it, I do everything. Before I came climbing, I was studying it, I was researching it, I was following the biggest, most successful climbers, because if I want to get into anything, I want to be so proficient at it, Having that mentality, get into something and get good enough at it that you can teach other people. Once you're at that level, you're in the top percentile, and that's my philosophy. When I teach people, I do not want them to be a carbon copy of me. I don't want that member to be identical to me in the way they trade, because then it creates a culture of dependence. And a lot of mentorships, a lot of educators out there, they want clones of themselves. Why? Because it means that you're dependent upon that person forever. My objective has always been not to teach people this is what you do, but teach them this is how you do it. So rather than teach them about the markets, I want to teach them how to actually trade in the markets. And there is a distinction. You might be thinking like, we're splitting hairs here, but there's a big difference between knowing information about the markets and knowing how to trade, knowing how to carve your own path. So a big philosophy in our teaching is, I show you the path I take, and I show you how I take it. Then I show you how to carve out your own path. And evidence of that is this year. Like, I had a 17K month in January, which is like, it's pretty good. It's not anything outrageous, but it's pretty good. Since then, I've had a few 5-figure months, but I've had a pretty dry year in FX and commodities. Meanwhile, we have members like Andy. He done 35K this month alone. You know, in payouts, not just P&L, in payouts from the 5%ers and FTMO. We have other members done over 100K this year, guys doing 80K, 50K. But this just verifies my philosophy. These guys are all trading similar, they're trading my concepts, but they're trading them in a different way, in different markets, different time frames, slightly different management, based on the principles that we teach. That's what allows our members to not be dependent upon me and be a trader in and of their own right. If you guys want to check out the Discord, if you want to see what we're up to, you know, what we're trading in the markets and that kind of stuff, I will leave a link down below. It's like £50 per month, you know, jump in, try it out, see what it's like, see what we have to offer. Learn from guys, not just me, learn from the guys who are doing 50K months, 30K months, the guys who are doing multiple six-figure years. That's how you're going to progress in this industry, not just listening to one person, but a group of people who know what they're doing and can prove it. You know, what more can you ask for ultimately? You had lunch without me? I mean, it's 2 p.m. It's 2 p.m.
It's way past lunch.
Hi. Hi. Hello. Evie. We have a call with someone who's applied for our mentorship. Hi, Stuart.
There you go.
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
Meetings with my diary at all day, and then someone asked if they could do a 2:30, and at 3:50, at 2:58, they said, "I just got one more question." Standard.
Ah, that's typical. That's absolutely typical. On this call, you're going to get a ton of value and a real clear sense of direction, regardless, you know, of where the call ends up ultimately. That's the whole spectrum of emotions, isn't it? You've gone through the life cycle of most traders. I think it'd be fair to say you know about the markets, you just don't know how to trade them consistently. People will tell you they make 20% a month. It's nonsense, utter nonsense. 30 to 50% per year is about what we're looking for. Now, let's say we make 10% next year, we have a really bad year. If you're funded with 500K, 1.5 mil, you're still walking away with 50 to 100K, you know what I mean, for maybe an hour's work total throughout the day. Looking for the guys with verified track records. Looking for the guys that can prove they don't just talk the talk, but they also walk the walk. First call went really well. Had a chat with a chap who's had, you know, various experience in trading, been burned by multiple different companies. The same kind of situation that we hear from a lot of people, in all honesty. He understands a lot about the markets, but he can't yet turn a consistent profit. Definitely confident that we can get great results for him in the coming year. The kind of plan that I have laid out for him, the first thing is going to be getting the knowledge, getting the strategy stuff nailed down. Second thing is going to be systemizing that so that he's not chained to the desk all day long, but he's also not missing opportunities. And really the third thing we'd be looking to do would be to scale his capital. Ideally, we're aiming for anywhere from 500K to 1.5 million in funding within a student's first sort of 12 months within the program. All that allows us to do is, even if we have a year that's not particularly good, let's say we only make 20% next year. If you're funded with 500K, you're still going to walk away with a six-figure payout, you know, at the end of the year. That's ultimately what we're aiming for. Leveraging capital really is the key to making good money in the financial markets. This is a place that we come with some of the traders from the floor. We actually came here the day before my wedding. And then after live events that we run, sometimes myself and some of our top students will come out here, you know, just hang out on the cigar terrace. It's outdoors. It's a really nice atmosphere to just chill out, have some good conversations. There's no loud music or anything like that. Really good opportunity to just sit down and have some good chats. And it had me thinking, you know, since you guys have been following the channel, my focus has primarily been traditional markets. I've been aware of digital assets. I bought my first Bitcoin back in maybe 2015, 2016, but I bought that to facilitate a purchase online at the time. I never actually invested into the crypto markets, nor did I ever really look at any kind of decentralized finance or digital assets really until 2021. One of our traders on the floor, he eventually talked me into it because, to be honest, I was totally against the digital asset space. Getting involved in 2021 has left me in a bit of a wild ride for my crypto career. I got in very near the top of the market, and I've had to hold through a bear market. My bear market was worse than most people because my positions were placed during the first bull market, or during that 2021 bull market. As I reflect over my crypto career, from being a skeptic, totally against it, now to the point where in 2024, the majority of my income has come from crypto. With my strategy in the markets this year, in the traditional markets, I've not really had an overwhelmingly good year. This is where diversification comes in. You hear me speak about it all the time. I not only trade medium-term swing in traditional markets, also long-term investing in crypto. And given that we've been in a bull run, and we're sort of in the middle of a bull run right now, that in 2024 has been where the bulk of my income has actually come from. I remember in 2022 when the bear market got really, really bad. You may remember the FTX crash. You may remember the crash of Terra Luna. We had major players in the game just collapsing overnight. I remember putting a chunk of funds into the Terra ecosystem, into UST, and it evaporating in the space of about 3 days. I tracked my portfolio on an app run by FTX. That collapsed when FTX collapsed, the whole portfolio app goes down. It was a really scary time to be involved in the markets. Bitcoin was sub $20,000. Ethereum was sub $1,000. I was really faced with an opportunity then. I was faced with a choice really between either taking the risk, further allocating when I was already at max allocation, or really just packing my bags and leaving altogether. Do I just cut these positions where they are, wear the loss, and move on from it? Do I hold the positions, let them recover? Or do I reach into my pockets and find something else to throw at these markets? At that time, didn't have a daughter, didn't really have a family as such. I think me and Neve weren't even married at this point. The decision was straightforward for me. Take risk while you can afford to take risk. And so I doubled down. I further allocated until the point where about 80% of my net worth was in crypto. That's a stark contrast to the guy just 12 months before who was completely against it. I've seen so much development in my own mindset, my own approach towards crypto, but that has paid off now. Now we're into the bull run. We're seeing many of these tokens hitting all-time highs. We're seeing 1,000% gains, 2,000% gains, multiple hundreds of percent across most of the projects I'm in. It has paid off. Something I often say is while you're young, you can afford to take risks. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research before anything you do, manage risk accordingly. But while you're young, take risk. Before you have responsibilities, take risk. If you're in your early 20s, in just 5 years' time, you will be at a point in your life where you can't afford to take risks that you could just 5 years ago. Take my position. 11 months ago, I had a daughter. Today, cannot take the same risks that I could 12 months ago. That's how quickly life changes. You never know the next big opportunity around the corner. Have your finger on the pulse, have your eyes open, do your research, have capital on the sidelines always. Your parents, your grandparents had the property boom, your parents had the .com boom, you have the cryptocurrency boom. It might be a boom and bust. I personally don't think it will be, but you have this age of exponential growth and it's not going to last forever. So take advantage of it while you can and be safe out there.